Hello, listeners, and welcome to another titillating episode of Yeah, We Read It. I am one of your hosts, Meggie,
And I'm also one of your hosts. My name is Laura.
and we are doing book two, verse two, the remix of Lightlark.
Meow,
We're doing
meow.
Nightbane, which is the second in the series.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, this series is insane. This series is
Yeah.
critically insane.
I regret to inform all the listeners. I've been sucked in so far to the point that I was doing my notes for this episode yesterday and was like, what even happened in book two? Because so much happens from now to where I'm at in book three. And I can't wait to talk about all of it.
There's a lot of plot points, but it also is a book series that sweeps me up in a way that I haven't been swept up. Like, I don't think I'm thinking about the real life anymore. I don't think I'm living in reality reading this
No,
book.
no. There's no such thing as reality now. It's just all I'm thinking about is the realms. It's realms this, realms that. What's gonna happen next?
I know we talked about what realm we liked the least last time, which is Skyling. We think Skyling is kind of overrated or whatever. What
I
realm would you want to be a part of? What power would you want to wield?
I mean, we talked about this last time too.
We did.
Because like the Nightshade powers are the coolest.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, how could I mean, wildling powers are also very cool that we get more into them this book. But I mean,
Would
the fact that Grimm can portal anywhere, it's like, probably would take that one.
Okay, so you're gonna pick Nightshade. Wow, Laura and I are confirmed star-crossed lovers here because I think I would say Wildling. I think I would be able to be a
Yeah, no,
Wildling.
that would be my second choice because I really think the nature pick is really cool.
Yeah, and another cool element happens in this book, which we will get into that the Wildlings do. A lot of cool elements, actually.
Well,
So
yeah, we get so now that the wildlings are saved, we really get into all of like the things that they can do and can't do. Yikes, it's a lot.
it's a lot. So at the end of Lightlark, Oro returned Isla's wildling crown. Isla now has all of the powers from the heart of Lightlark, which she wields. She's doing great. She doesn't really know how to use her powers just yet, but she uses her wildling crown. She is in the palace, the place of mirrors on Wildling Isle on Lightlark, and she unlocks the mystery door, and once she opens the door, it blasts her against the room, and Grimm is like whispering somewhere, "Come back to me."
Yeah, it's like, have you ever walked into a room and realized like, whoa, I'm not supposed to be in here? Probably, but that room has never lurched you out of there viscerally to the point of drawing blood, which happens to Isla. She's been trying this many, many times. It doesn't. She's not allowed in the room. She's not allowed. She's not in the VIP section.
She's walked into a party that her enemy is, and her enemy is whatever this power is.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's feeling really down in the dumps about being a pretty bad leader to the Wildling Isle, and Oro cheers her up, being like, "You're not that bad. Don't worry about it. I'll teach you."
Yeah. And as Isla is like being consoled by Oro after she's gotten rejected from the room for however many times we don't know, we are also going to get introduced to a very big plot point in this book. Isla's hearing Grimm's voice and she's starting to have visions. She has this huge vision of like death and war surrounding her. So she's like, something bad's gonna happen. Don't know where Grimm's at right now, but I feel like he's pissed off.
And the thing is, she really got to figure out how to handle these powers pronto because she now has Starling powers. She
Yeah.
absorbed Aurora's powers when she essentially got her powers transferred from the Bondbreaker at the last in the book. So not only is she a bad leader in one realm of Wildling, leaving her people essentially emaciated, she now has Starling. She gets to take care of another realm that kind of has been completely abandoned.
Yeah, I will say I do think it is kind of crazy that it's like, okay, Isla, you're the ruler of two realms, and like her first course of action is like stay on Lightlark, try to get door open. It's like maybe just make a quick appearance, girl, like just like a little one, just like a hey guys, love you.
She is obsessed with getting this door open and also obsessed with trying to get Oro to fuck her. Those are the
I
only two things
mean,
she cares about, not her
I
people.
can't blame her for the latter. Who wouldn't want to get fucked after everything she's been through?
I know, seriously. He's like a very just built, tan, bronze little
He's
cherub
literally
lady man.
he's like the god of sun. Like he literally powers a whole island.
Yeah, kind of like Achilles, like a young Brad
Yeah,
Pitt maybe, but broader
yeah,
shoulders to me.
exactly.
And
Um, you go.
it's
Maggie and
crazy.
I ready to go into the next plot point.
They have a meeting. There's the nobles are coming together. They're all the different realms are going to talk about what are we going to do about the future of everything now that the curses are gone. They're broken.
Yeah, and it's not looking great. There's this moonling named Soren who enters like mid-meal to much like kerfuffle because like that's not manners, Soren.
No.
And yeah, and it's going from bad to worse because there's rumors of rebellion and on the island. And Soren's also going to keep grilling Isla like, "So what are the wildlings doing if you're
I know he's like who very easy straightforward questions. Who exists on your realm? Who wields power? How many are there? She can't even answer this. She just keeps saying I don't know. And Oro's trying to
Yeah.
like make her feel better and Soren's like kind of embarrassing. I got to be so
Yeah, and
honest.
then he's like, "Okay, well, maybe the star like, you can tell me how the starlings are." And this starling named Marin, is like, "Well, we kinda need a ruler because we kinda been without one since Aurora died." And
Yeah.
Soren's like, "Does Isla look like she can rule 2 realms right now, everyone?" And everyone, including the reader's like, "No."
So I would also walk away, I guess, not feeling empowered.
Yeah.
And she visits Azul, and Azul's really trying to give her a pep talk, being like, "Look at my isle. We had to rebuild after everyone just fell out of the sky after the curse was set." And she's honest. She's like, "I don't really want to rule." And he doesn't help. He doubles down by being like, "It's not easy to rule. I would give up my life for my people personally. Me,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't. I would."
Azul's really rubbing it in, and he's like, "Yeah, Isla, I mean, the people kind of want you to have a baby, like, fast." He's like, "The people want an heir. That's what they want."
Yeah, he's kind of like, I mean, you need to want to connect with your subjects, but if you don't, I guess have a kid.
I
Those are the
mean,
only two
can
options.
we blame Isla for not being able to connect with like the mass public? She was shut up in a room for a very long time. I really don't feel like Poppy and Tara like trained her to like rule. They trained her to like fight and like be meek and proper, but they weren't like, "And here's how you win people over, girl."
We truly got to commend her social skills, I guess, thus far, because she went from talking to no one to having two boyfriends.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah, that's like I
impressive.
feel like maybe that's the ultimate homeschool dream, right?
So
Someone who's
she,
homeschooled, please tell us in the comments if that was ever your dream.
yeah, if you were homeschooled, email Meggie and Laura present at
We
gmail.com.
gotta know.
We're just really curious
We gotta know
if
the accuracy of the dream
if you got
here.
two boyfriends. So she goes to the Wildling Land, and she is pretty honest about where she is at as a leader. She is like, "I'm not good at this, and I don't," which is so encouraging for her people
Honestly, but
here.
I feel like I would appreciate the honesty. Like like the thing I hate, like when I go to work, is if like my boss is acting like everything's cool and fine, and the boss isn't doing anything, and everything's actually not cool and fine. If she's like, "Hey, I know everything's not cool and fine. I want to figure out how to make things maybe a little cool, maybe a little fine." I'd appreciate the transparency personally.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. Just admit you don't know things. And she does. She has
Yeah.
people come and ask her questions that she is frankly like, "I don't know. You know what? Honestly, let me ask you guys questions. What has it been like on here on Wildling Isle?" And they're like, "Pretty awful. We don't know how to farm for ourselves."
Yeah, since they only could like eat human hearts as a part of their curse, like there's no like plants and they don't know how to farm.
But Ren, who is the elected official of this place, is like, "Honestly, we got it. I know how to cultivate food. I'll be okay. I'll be in charge for a little bit. You need to go help Island because I mean, they all were dying by 25. So they are run by kids
Yeah.
and they haven't been established enough."
Yeah, so Isla's agreed to go through like the Starling coronation ceremony on Lightlark. And as she's going through this ceremony, we get our first big plot element, folks, because the ground is going to rip open on the island of Lightlark, and winged monsters are going to fly out, and there's a full on attack just on everyone.
They are ripping people's arms off left and right. Oro hitting them with fire. Azul taking them out of there. Isla trying really hard to get her powers, but she just can't. She is yelling at her hands, "Powers, please!" Not showing up.
Yeah, yikes. And then these monsters, kind of without warning or without intervention, leave in the direction of Nightshade. So now there's rumors swirling like Grimm did this. Some people think Isla powered them still because they don't know what her whole deal is. So she's not doing good at winning people over right now.
No. And one person who is her number one hater from day one, Oro meets with Cleo, and she seems to just really still hate Isla. She doesn't care, but she is going to help. For some reason, it really isn't explained why she turned so quick. She's going to employ some moonlings to help heal these people, and
Mhm.
that with the wildling elixir is going to help. But there are 45 people dead, so
Yeah, and
quite a
Cleo
few
does
people.
make it very clear that she is really not sure if the Moonlings are going to stay on Lightlark because it doesn't really seem like there's a reason for them to anymore.
Yeah, she said she wants to be on the winning side.
Yeah,
What is that?
what does
We
that
don't know.
mean? Cleo, use your words. Speaking of using not your words, Isla's gonna get abducted by some waves late at night. Use your imagination, listeners. That's what happens. She's on her balcony, some waves jump up, shoop, grab her. And Isla quickly realizes that after she's been taken underground, she's surrounded by like a mix of moonlings, starlings, and sunlings, and these are the rebellion people. They're abducting her and they're basically going to try and kill her.
Just as they are about to kill her, they have her bound. Her power finally explodes out of her and she slams them against the wall. She's running down all these tunnels to town. She is stepping on glass too when she gets to town. She's tattered. She runs into a sunling guard who puts his cape around her, makes sure Oro knows, and he comes and he is mad. He makes a big decree about her being attacked, says it's treason. If it happens again, the people are going to be strung up. They're going to be strung up Pirates of the Caribbean style. They're going to let the ocean get them.
But like also like why are we waiting for it to happen again, Oro? Like why aren't we sending some guards to go underground and get these rebellions and like put them in jail? Interesting, Oro.
I don't know. He's got other
Interesting.
places to be, I guess.
Yeah, but Isla, after these two back-to-back scenarios, one where she didn't have powers, one where she had too much power she couldn't control, she's like, Oro, we gotta get training as of yesterday.
And
Um,
Oro's like, I'll do you one better. I'm going to also give you a security compliance. Avel and Seal, they're going to
he's
be
like,
your
I got you
bouncers.
twins.
I got you. I got a BOGO on twins, okay?
Bogo
Buy
and
one, get
guards,
one.
buy one twin, get one twin free.
Yeah, so they're going to take care of her sometimes.
So, sometimes it's only told like it's very weird. It was a weird read because suddenly it was like, oh, and then our guards were there, and it's like, oh, were they?
Yeah, they're here now.
It's not important. They're very minor characters.
They save her once. So to start
What
training,
spoilers? But you haven't gotten there yet.
oh, sorry. Well, they could save her just by being friends too.
Yeah,
There's a
you're
lot of
right. She
ways of
does.
saving a
She
person.
does make friends.
So
Anyway,
to start this training, they are going to need to untangle her Nightshade and Wildling powers, and that requires going to these blue pixie winged creatures. I imagine bigger versions of the creatures in the second Harry Potter book.
yeah.
That
Well, they're the winged people from the first book that we met. And the leader's name is Remlar. So we're
yes, finally learn his name.
yeah, yeah.
Exciting.
And he was the one who was really creepy, being like, "I want her to come visit me again." It's this guy, so she is come visiting him again.
I read him as a very flamboyant gay man.
I like that.
Yeah. He just kind of wants a buddy.
But in order for her to kind of untangle her powers, he's going to basically help her unravel some of her memories. So in this, she plunges into darkness with his help, and her powers start to awaken, which triggers a flashback where Isla has star sticked to Nightshade, and she's like, I probably shouldn't be here, but I'm in some sort of building and I can't get out. And quickly learns that she's in Grimm's castle, and some like maid puts her in some sexy outfit and is like, go get in line. And she's basically in like a like conjugal visit line where he gets to pick who he wants to have sex with, and he picks Isla.
It's all these women being like, "Oh boy, I hope he picks me for the fucking oh boy." So he points at her and he goes, "You come." And she's gotta know. Like the woman put lipstick on her and put her in a
I
sexy little
mean,
outfit.
Isla these flashbacks is very naive.
Well, I guess she is homeschooled. So I guess if you have been homeschooled and have ever been put in line in a sexy little lipstick, and you might know where this book is going, if you could just email Meggie and Laura Present.
Yeah, just send us an email. But like this happens all so fast. She's being whisked off to Grimm's room. He's immediately picking her up, pressing her against a wall. They're
He asked for
making.
consent first, though.
That's true.
Very important to know.
Very hot of
Yes.
Grimm to do that. And they're kissing, they're hooking up, and Isla is getting a little carried away. And then she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, this is bad!" And she pulls away and just stabs him and runs away.
Honestly, great first impression. I would want leave him wanting more, Isla. Okay.
That's what you gotta do.
So now that her powers are untangled, she is going to keep having these memories pop up. And after the first one pops up, she is super sick. She is like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to think about this. She is staying at the place of mirrors for a bit. And Oro comes sometimes, does her hair, almost bestie things more than. No, that's still, I guess. Does Nick do your hair? Does your boyfriend do your hair?
No, Maggie, my boyfriend does not do my hair because I don't think my boyfriend would know how to do my hair.
I don't think
I've
anyone
braided like Nick's
ever.
hair before, but like
That's
that's
awesome.
different.
Okay, so Oro is girlfriend
Laura,
status
you're
then.
straight. Does your boyfriend do
Is
your hair?
this normal in your culture? So he's also telling her things he enjoys about herself, though. There's also this, which is like her eyes and stuff, and he really likes her hair. And she's
I
feeling
think
bad about herself, so this is good.
yeah, she keeps getting sick from all like this like power that's kind of she's got like morning sickness from new powers,
Yeah.
and she has to move into like the mirror palace because they're also like, you could kind of get hit with power at any moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, Oro's staying with her. While this is happening, we have another flashback where Grimm comes back to Isla's room after the whole incident where they didn't have sex, and he's like, I want answers. How did you get into Nightshade? Why the hell were you in that particular line?
And he is also choking her because he is thinking that she is a wildling. She has a lot of powers. It is some spy thing to get an upper hand on his realm. And you'll never guess what she does. She goes for round two and stabs him again.
She's got one move and she does it really well. Who can blame her?
And she teleports out of her room and she's just doing great. The next day, she is training with Oro. She is practicing by trying to move the world's littlest pebble, the world's
For
tiniest rock.
fun.
And he's like, don't even worry about it. It takes a long time to master control. Me? Took me years. And you know why I had to learn? I had a flare that turned things gold. I actually killed someone, and it really weighs on my conscience.
He's like, so what weighs on your conscience, Isla? Maybe if you think about that, that'll help you.
It's a really good time to get to know each other.
Yeah, and so Isla like kind of focusing on the rock, focusing on her mistakes, and she's trying to forgive herself. And when she starts thinking of her like mom and like she's like, I'm the reason my mom is dead, she's able to start moving a rock. So she's learning like the art of, I guess, like using your trauma for your powers. I don't know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Elsa would say, conceal, don't feel. Wait.
Then we get like a little training montage. She's making more progress. She's having control issues.
She really is. She has a moment with Oro where she's like, you must have really annoyed when I threw stars at you blindfolded. And he was like, no, actually, you almost killing me made me, I couldn't stop thinking about you, which I guess is telling because she has been trying to kill Grimm in these flashbacks too. And hey, he's back. Ladies, if you want your man to stay hooked, try to kill him.
Yeah, Maggie said it. Uh, Isla wants to obviously continue her training, but she's also like, the wildling Newland is in such bad shape. And so he's like, my friend Enya is gonna help us. So we get introduced to Oro's friend Enya, and she's like, our moms are best friends, and she's like really forward, and she's like, what are you guys having sex or what? And they're like, we're not. But
We're
Enya's
not.
like, Enya's gonna help the wildlings be like, this is a seed, and when you plant it, it grows. So Isla portals everyone there, and they all start to help, and they're all learning some good lessons.
Yes, they're learning how to store water, make food. Isla is finally tracking who wields. Pretty important. She is running a census on her town. And she's like, I need a system like this for Starling too.
Yeah, exactly. Oro flies Isla to her old room, and he's like, "So this is where you were homeschooled." And Isla is like trying to like lay it on thick. She's like, "Maybe we could just have like some sex while we're here." And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What if we did more training instead?" So he is not in the sexy, goofy mood that she's in, which is kind of lame.
Kind of a bummer. Like
Kind of a bummer.
you've been together for like 40 pages now, which is what, 2 days? You should be
Yeah,
fucking on well,
literally.
so she's
Uh,
training with Oro, and it's really difficult because she cannot separate her wildling powers from her nightshade powers. The minute she is blooming a flower, dies immediately. She
mhm.
gets really down on herself, and Oro, who is great at pep talks, is like, I wish you could see yourself how I see you. You would never doubt yourself. You deserve to win. You deserve the heart of Lightlock. And this pep talk really does it for her because the flower blooms, stays bloomed. So
Yeah.
all she needs is words of affirmation.
So she's gonna have a little like Tarzan moment. She's gonna go into the woods and
Yeah.
she's gonna really just like feel the woods energy. And she's feeling really connected to nature and she's climbing a tree without like any hesitation. It's so easy, everything's moving through her. But then as she's like looking up and around of where she's at, she looks to the ground and thinks that she sees Grim looking up at her from like the base of the tree, and then she panics and immediately falls through all of the branches. Avel, one of her security guard team, is there to catch her, and Grim isn't actually there. So she's like, I'm being haunted by my memories that I don't know of. So that's fun for her.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
The next day, Ren is pretty sympathetic to her. She's like, well, I guess we know why now. You never visited us. You were locked up in your room because you had no powers. And Ren also drops that it would be pretty meaningful if Isla did this bonding ceremony where you basically go out in the woods with yourself, and a animal companion would choose to bond with you. Isla doesn't realize that this is what it is, but Isla's like, sure, let's do it tonight,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, no, like Isla's like, yeah, I think I should do this, and Ren's like, cool, let's do it tonight then. Like, so Isla can't even back out. It's like, it's
No,
well, we're gonna do it now.
she's
I thought that
committed.
was so funny. Where Isla's like, I want you guys to like me, and they're like, yeah, for sure.
Cancel your
Um,
plan. She's like, she's etching out karaoke in her agenda, and she's like,
yeah,
animal bonding
yeah,
ceremony.
she's tonight'll work. So yeah, like Maggie said, it's this very complicated ceremony, which really just like leaves Isla alone in the woods with a single arrow, no shoes, still has a shirt, still has service. But she kind of just has to walk around till she finds an animal that likes her, and she's not having any luck.
She's also really bad at determining which animals like her because this giant bear with horns comes up to her, clearly ready to attack, and she gets one arrow. She gets one arrow to put through and wound her chosen. So she's like, yeah, I think that the vibe is that this guy
She-
kind of likes me. And
yeah,
she
she's like, fuck, I guess if I have to have a like giant bear as a bondage, sure.
I imagine she lets the arrow go. It just like plops off of him, and then he starts roaring and chasing her. Bad
Yeah,
judgment. Really bad
the
judgment.
the bear's gonna chase her up a tree, which is not what she signed up for. And as she gets up really, really high, a leopard is going to find her there and basically carry her to safety. And basically back to where she dropped the arrow and is like, okay, you're gonna pick me. Isla, put this arrow inside me. So she does, and she's like, cool, I guess I got this leopard now. And then the leopard takes them back to the village where everybody's waiting. And Ren's like, Isla? And Isla's like, what? Yeah, I got this leopard. And she's like, no, that was your mother's bonded. That's Lynx. So that's kind of crazy.
Love Lynx because Oro comes to visit the next day. Lynx is lukewarm on Isla. Oro
Love him.
shows up. Lynx immediately is like, I love this guy. I can't get enough
Love
of him.
him, her. Love him,
Lynx
obsessed.
will be staying on this island though for the time being because he is, I think at one point his teeth are mentioned as tall as a tree. So I imagine he's a pretty big cat. I think it's
Yeah,
probably
huge cat.
pretty hard to teleport him.
Pretty bad.
Very bad.
Yeah. Oro gives Isla intel. He's like, well, now that you brought this animal back, let me fill you in on what's been going on. More rebels have been spotted on Lightlark, and there's quite a few starlings among them. Yikes. Because they're hiding in the crypts, and that's like the starlings do the crypt thing. So it all makes sense lore wise. But
Mhm.
Isla's like, okay, gotta go to Starling now because I don't want more people rebelling against me.
Yeah,
And
and she
Star
goes to Star Isle and it is trashed. I imagine it is like the impoverished section of Silicon Valley where I mean people are truly just living in poverty. It's like tense.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
good.
It is bad. So Marin's kind of giving her like the tour, and like there's a lot of kids there because like everybody dies at 25,
Mhm.
and we introduce like Marin's cousin Cinder, and like Marin's like, no, we have to keep her like everybody away from the mainland and the king because like the vibes aren't good. People don't like starlings, and
Yeah, they really
yeah,
don't trust them, and the reason that they have the crypts and the tunnels is they would hide out down there. Also, there is a section on the east side of their island that houses these creatures that will hunt starlings if they go into that island.
yeah.
Really, really bad vibes there.
The
But
vibes, yeah, the vibes are awful.
while she is here, she has a flashback memory of Grim and teleporting back into Nightshade. She's trying to get forgiveness from Grim in this memory and tries to give him a gift. He shatters it. He doesn't want gifts. He just wants to be stabbed.
He's
Boys
literally the
just
king
want to
of
be stabbed.
darkness. I don't know why she thought like a peace offering of friendship would work. Um
He just wants a duel.
yeah.
He's dying to get stabbed. I'm not kidding.
She's like tries to give him like the healing elixir and she's like, "Isn't this a nice gift?" And he's like, "Literally leave." And she's like, "I'll duel for your friendship." And he's like, "Fucking whatever, okay." So he takes them back to the wildling Newland and they sword fight in the woods. He of course wins because he's literally the leader of an army, and he's like, "Okay, and I never want to see you again." And then he leaves. So what a
He
fun
disarmed her
memory.
in like quicksand too. So now she's like, okay, so he just threw the fight in the Centennial. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, we get to modern day. Isla asks a question that is on all of our mind. Oro, why won't you touch me? Why won't you do it?
Yeah.
And he's basically like, I've just been waiting for you to heal. I see you fading day by day. I don't know what to do. I don't think fucking's gonna help.
And I'm
And she
like, it
is
might. It
literally
might.
right.
Or
It's a
did you
great
ever consider
distraction.
that it might?
Ugh, it's a great distraction for like 5 minutes, Oro. Just do it. I mean, she doesn't really help her case right now because she's like, okay, can I be honest with you? I do keep seeing visions of Grim, which I think if someone told me they had been seeing their ex a lot
Okay, yeah.
in their
Like,
mind, I'd be like,
okay,
would
like,
fucking
okay,
help?
that's a valid reason to not want to sleep with someone. Don't be like, you're too emotional. Lame. You're still thinking about your ex? Makes sense, for sure. And Oro also is panicking now that she's like, I'm having these like weird like vision memories of Grim. He's like, if you're having them in your room, you need to move into my room. My room is safe from the monster. You will be safe there. And it kind of works, but he's not gonna stay in the room with her. He moves her into his room and he moves out. But she's like finally able to get some like sleep at night and not see Grim as much in her like every day. Um,
Yeah, she gets a lot happier. She's getting better control of her powers too.
yes,
She's even sharing them with Oro. Sometimes he's making some flowers.
he
And she
makes her a
admits
gold
she doesn't
rose.
love Grim and she gets the gold rose.
Yeah. But like Maggie said, she admits, like, I don't love Grim. And Oro can tell that she's telling the truth because that's his flair. And she's like, and Oro, you want to know what else? I love you. And so they finally kiss 130 pages in.
Finally.
Disappointing.
They don't go farther though, because Lynx, the leopard, is growling at them, cockblock, evil. Not my companion anymore, that's for sure.
Not my bonded.
My bonded. So they break apart. They're getting ready for this thing called Copia, which is this day of celebration on Lightlark. She begins redoing Wild Isle to make it up for a place for wildlings to go. They are all excited about the future of Lightlark. And she is like, Oro, I think that tomorrow's going to be a really good day. So what if you like stayed in my room overnight and we woke up together on like Christmas morning?
Yeah.
Christmas morning. We could do the Copia together in the morning.
And Oro agrees, but Oro's immediately like, well, good night. Lights off.
Yeah, She has a little lace number on too, and he's like quivering, and then he's like,
He's like,
nice,
well,
and then he
isn't
goes to
this
sleep.
nice? Darkness. But so Isla's not gonna let him go like that easily. She's like, Oro, what I need you to do is something. And he goes for it.
Yeah, he does. There's finally some finger fucking, and she does it in a way that any woman at that age, honestly, any woman, period, if someone that I was dating kept denying me, I would feel like shit about myself. I'd be like, okay, you're clearly not attracted
You
to
don't
me.
like me that much.
You
That's
can love
okay. Just tell
me,
me that.
but you can be not attracted to me. And then that's a platonic love. That's not like romantic love. That's not what that is.
Yeah, but they hook up. They're having fun, exciting. Next night is Copia. She made her own dress. It's really cool. They're flirting, so they're gonna hook up later because now that they're doing it, they're gonna keep doing it.
Oro
And
gets her
Isla
a
made
necklace too, as well,
yeah, she used that gold
which
rose
is
that he
so
made in
funny to
crimson.
me
Yeah.
because now she's got the rose gold necklace and you can't see Oro's. So I imagine her chest is just jutted out to here in necklaces because I imagine the potato one is really big.
Oh, I see. I never envisioned like the Grim necklace that big.
I think it was like she said it was like the size of a potato or
Oh,
something.
did she?
I think it's pretty big.
Oh, damn. Well, it's also invisible, so like nobody else can see it but her.
I guess I still would be like, this feels overstimulating. Like I feel like it
Yeah,
looks
I don't know. Can
crazy.
you feel an invisible necklace?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe you can't see
Yeah.
it either.
Listeners, if you feel like you could feel an invisible necklace, please send us an email at meggieandlaurapresent@gmail.com.
This one doesn't matter if
Um,
you're homeschooled. Just email us about the
no.
invisible necklace.
But Copia's going real swell. Isla's demonstrating how powerful she is and how in control she is. And she's making like trees and plants. But then immediately darkness consumes everything she's created. It's wilting, it's dying. Then every single person hears Grimm's voice in their heads saying he will be there on Lightlark in 30 days and he needs to destroy Lightlark and he wants everybody to join him for the new future. Yeesh.
Super scary. So Isla goes to Cleo. They gotta band together. Immediately,
She's
she's
like,
begging.
she's like, hey Cleo, you know how Grim threatened all of us and is gonna come kill everybody in 30 days? You're not gonna leave, are you? And
And Cleo basically gives Isla this whole rant about how, you remind me a lot of someone I used to know. My son. I tried to cage him, lock him up so the sea wouldn't get him. Sea got him. She got him.
yeah. And she's
So,
like, you know what? I'm gonna help you, Isla, and my help is you should go visit the Oracle. And immediately after, Isla is alerted by her guards who fly her up into the sky, and they see all of the Moonling ships sailing towards Nightshade. They are joining Grim. So that sucks.
not good. The Oracle tells Isla her memories are the key. If she doesn't remember, Lightlark is going to fall. She's just getting headshot after headshot. So she goes to
Yeah.
Remlar, the blue fairy, and she is like, help me. Help me, gay fairy.
Oh my gosh. Also, the Oracle does tell her, like, okay, visit me one more time before the 30 days are up. And I was like, got it, got it, got it. But then she goes to Remlar, and he's like, you gotta focus on your Nightshade powers. That's how he
He
talks in my head. Hey,
he
Isla,
does
you gotta focus on your Nightshade powers.
he helps train Isla during the day. He does jazz at night.
Yeah, he's like, ta, 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 ta,
Da,
ta, ta,
da, da,
ta.
da.
Yeah, I picture him in tap shoes. Uh,
I picture her in a top hat. Wait,
I see
this
that too. And
rocks.
he's kind of like Mr. Peanut, but as a guy with wings.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Well, this Mr. Peanut Remlar, it works. It brings up a memory ASAP where she is in a market in Nightshade. A man steals her away and immediately is like, wildling hair is so beautiful. I need to scalp her.
Yeah.
And she
So
kills him.
Isla does her one trick pony move. She's gonna stab him, and guards are gonna see her stab him because there's guards everywhere, and she's gonna get chased. And somehow she stumbles in front of Grim as she's trying to like star stick out of there because he's also a frequenter of the night market, and he's like, guys, take this girl to jail. And so he goes to jail and he's like, dude, what the hell? I've been telling you to leave me the fuck alone and stay away from here. And she's like, and he's like, okay, fine. I will make you a deal. If I will align with you in the Centennial, if you help me find a sword. So
Mhm.
that's that. She's her and Grimm are kind of are in business now in her memories.
Yep. She is going to find this enchanted sword. He's going to help her find skin gloves that she needs to get the fingerprints, like in the
Yeah.
last book. And then he portals her home.
S-
So, groups of wildlings in modern day have agreed to fight with her, and later she meets Oro's other friends, not Enya, but Zed, who is a
And
super fast Skyling.
Calder, who is not important. I that is the only note I have about him is that his name is Calder.
Yeah, and the book
Um,
admits he's not that important. They're like, he's the worst moonling healer. And
yeah,
why
and it's like,
bringing him
why would
up?
you be friends with the worst moonling healer? Sounds like he doesn't take it very seriously. But they're talking about the war. They're prepping for the war. Isla's gonna go talk to Azul, and he's like, "Hey, I got bad news. The Skylings also would like to leave Lightlark." And I was like, "Well, you're not gonna let them, are you?" And he's like, "We are democracy. I have no power in this. They're gonna vote for it." And she's like, "Okay, fine. I'll go ask some of the other weird creatures on this island."
Oral really doesn't want that. He just apparently wants to lose. He's got blind optimism, but she's
Yeah,
like,
it's like, why isn't Oro putting in more work to like build an army to save Lightlark? Like, literally, that Lightlark is his life source.
he feels like that coworker that makes himself look busy at work, and you're like, listen, your job, what are you doing? Truly don't know
Yeah,
what you do all day
like
at
what?
work.
What he's like, I'm like the vibes guy. It's
The vibes
he's like,
guy.
it's like warm here because of me, and they're like, but you know, if the island dies, you die too. And he's like, yeah, but like,
He
I can,
doesn't seem too worried about it. He's only ever worried when Isla is like, I'm gonna enlist the help of the Vinderland people, who were the wildlings who essentially became cannibals. And he's like, no, they tried to kill you. And she's like, but they can help us. And he's like, don't care.
yeah.
Don't
Anyway,
care.
she's gonna go visit Remlar alone again. She's practicing killing and creating trees, kind of using her powers in tandem with each other to kind of separate them out more. Slowly, this triggers into another flashback where Isla and Grimm are climbing a mountain to go visit an ancient blacksmith who makes enchanted equipment.
I love this part. So they go up this slippery ass mountain. Grim goes into the doorway with her, and she's like, all right, this seems easy. Let's find the sword. And he goes, you better run because he's going to kill you. And then he just disappears. So fucking funny.
Amazing. And so Isla runs from the blacksmith. And then they it gets to a point where she basically is able to stab him in the eye. And Grim appears and he's like, okay, blacksmith, leave her alone. Tell us about the sword.
Also, the blacksmith immediately pivots. He doesn't really care that he got stabbed in the eye. He's like, that was a good one, girl. Okay, so where the sword is, there were some thieves that took it away from me. You gotta get it from them. And then the blacksmith just has one eye now.
Yeah.
He's really
I
fine
honestly
with it.
picture every other time you see him, he still has a knife just stuck in his eye. Because, like, they describe him as, like, he's, like, centuries of years old.
Yeah, I
Like, more
imagine
so than everybody else.
him being like, that was a good one, girl.
He's like,
He's
ah,
just
ha, ha, ha.
so
Very jolly giant laugh. Like, oh, that was so funny.
yeah.
Isla afterwards is gonna go check in on Marin and the other starlings because she's like, we need wielders, we need people to shield, we need people to shield in the sky from the starlings. And we learned that Baby Cinder is like their best wielder somehow. It just like makes sense to her. And Marin is really trying to be like, I don't really want this child going in to help a war. And I was like, I think we can figure it out.
She's like, what if we just don't put her name on the book? What if we just keep her
Yeah, what if we just say
anonymous?
like we're not gonna register her as a soldier? She's gonna be in the war though.
Like, that will save her from being randomly murdered in war.
Yeah, yikes! It's
But
and
no,
then we
Cinder's
don't. It's
gonna.
never really fully explained. Everyone's just kind of like, okay, I guess the baby's going to war.
Yeah, we assume that Cinder's gonna make this shield. Later that night, Isla has another dream that finally, this is a pretty revealing dream. She imagines that Grim is going to kill her in battle. That's like this vision, this future that
Yeah,
she has. And she tells Oro, but there's literally no time to process this because she has another flashback of a memory. So
yeah.
one was a vision about Grim killing her, this one, memory.
And this one's about Grim rowing a boat for them in the middle of the night
And
to
his
go to,
back looks good.
and his back looks hot. And then they're gonna use the boat to go to the thieves' base that's in this like little fishing town. And he has an amulet on, so he's allowed to be out at night. But the thieves are inside because they can't go out at night. And they both go inside, and Isla's fighting these guys left and right. Really cool scene. She's on the second floor. She pushes one of the thieves out the window, and he immediately turns to ash. And she goes out with him. Very cool.
Mhm.
Um, Grim gets like the last lone thief and is standing in the doorway, and he's like, "Okay, you could go to turn to ash with like the rest of your buddies, unless you want to tell us more about this sword." And then they get more sword info, and he kills him immediately.
Exactly. They tell them that this guy Victor stole the sword. Go find him. Stop
Yeah,
bugging us. And they do.
right.
They
Yeah,
kill him.
yep. And Grim's like, "All right, bye, Isla. See you in 2 weeks." And she is like very disheveled about all of this. She's like, "I'm what we killed like 5 people," and he's like, "Yeah,
Grim's like, yeah, that's just a Tuesday for
yeah.
me.
What?" He's like, "All
Um,
right, sleep tight."
Enya has agreed to visit the Vinderland with Isla to ask for their help. Oro is like, I'm not just going to let you go. So he creates a starling shield to protect her. And of course, when they get there, they are immediately attacked.
And then they immediately also say no. They're like, "We're not gonna do that, actually. So bye."
Mhm.
Isla, and then is also triggered into another flashback shortly after this, where Isla is exploring the wildling Newland, and is because she's like, I don't need to explore Nightshade. I can go exploring all by myself, and I never need rescuing ever. And she immediately is captured by her own people, wildlings, who are going to capture her, hog tire, and plan to eat her heart. Um,
Yeah, there's a shortage of hearts on this island. So they're just eating each other.
yep. So she manages to like somehow with her hands tied behind her back, star stick into Grimm's room, and he gives her some hot chocolate because he's like, "Rough day, here's some hot chocolate."
He uses wildling elixir on her and brings her back to her room. And while she is sleeping, after he has stitched her up, he watches her to make sure that she doesn't bleed out in her sleep. And obviously, she's like, I can't watch you with you just staring at me. So she starts talking about, I think when she first met Graham, that's what I wrote. Maybe she's talking about it to him, which is crazy.
I don't
Oh,
know. I
yes,
didn't
wait,
write it.
she is because people. She's talking about how people were willing to line up to fuck him, and he's like, I don't know, you seem pretty willing.
I
You know,
mean,
I
she
can feel
was.
emotions, and she was.
Back in Lightlark present day, the Vinterland do finally agree to join the army, and Isla's like, "Great, I'll find you a healer." And then Isla's like, "And I'm also gonna bring my cat to battle." Like Isla's riding high. She's like, "Now that I've got the Vinterland and my cat, sure we'll take on the thousands of Nightshade army people."
Yeah, because the Vinderlands say something pretty important here, which are like, we're going to join you because you have Nightshade powers.
Yeah,
And honestly, you should probably tap into that because I'm sure there are some people on this island. Actually, Remlar might be the one that says that. But
yeah,
it's really important that she has Nightshade powers because these people who have been deemed evil have sections of people on this island. So they're going to be like, oh, we would ride for a Nightshade ruler.
yeah.
So she's got the cat, she's got Vinderland, and it rocks. She doesn't stay in the present too long though, because it's
No.
another flashback that only ramp up as the
Yeah,
book
yeah, we're getting lots of
continues.
flashbacks left and right, listeners.
Her and Graham are preparing for training, and not gonna lie, she kind of sucks, but she needs to train to she's about to face creatures of the Sky Isle Forest. Not actually sure again what my notes are because this
Yeah,
book was
I don't
so
know what you were
confusing.
writing either. All I put is that he just teaches her more about the star stick and then he helps her get better at sword fighting.
Oh, good. That's
Back
great.
in
Hey.
present day, Isla's gonna go visit Starling. She finds out a girl was attacked by a giant snake, and in an insane turn of events, the snake is
Oh.
an ancient wildling woman, and she's like, "Well, you're a giant snake. Do you want to join the war?" And she's like, "No, I don't want to fight in your fucking war."
Yeah.
Isla's going full like military recruitment. Like, don't you want to say, Uncle Isla wants you to join the army?
And Isla's like, you have to. You're one of me. You're also a wildling power. person, and this wildling is like, a lot of us don't like you. I'm gonna be so honest. A lot of us
Yeah.
don't like you. And she's just, it's not gonna happen. She's not gonna happen. And also, she doesn't, we don't really know where this snake woman is on whether or not she's gonna keep killing
We
starlings.
also don't know how giant of a snake she is when she's in snake form. We just know that it's a big snake that
Yeah.
eats children. And we're gonna go to another flashback now. Let's do
Oh, and
that.
this is a zesty flashback. Buckle
Zesty
up.
flashback. Celebration and Nightshade on Cretan Crag. What do half those words mean? Not important. Isla is wearing a sexy outfit because they're going to go find a guy who has snakes who supposedly has the sword. And Grimm's like teasing her because he can kind of tell that she's uncomfortable. And they're basically in a strip club. And he's like, well, if you really want to help, aren't you like the seductress because you're a wildling? Couldn't you just seduce him and get the information out of him? And Isla agrees to go dance for this guy to prove a point, which is hilarious.
Isla gets dressed in a very short skirt, and what I imagined is essentially just a strip across her chest. I imagine it is
Yeah,
pasted on her nipples,
like
kind of like
micro bando.
when Hunter Schafer wore just the glove across her boobs
Yeah.
in on some runway. And she is dancing at Victor. Grim watching her very intensely, keeping eye contact, and then it's kind of like she's like dancing for him. She's like, You like what you
Yeah.
see?"
And finally, the snake guy's like, let's go to the VIP area. And I was like, for sure. And so she takes him to the VIP area. And it's basically kind of like in his lap, getting more information from him because she's given him like a drink to basically get him to pass out and tell her information. And Grim kind of enters as she's getting the last bit of information. So she's teasing Grim, like, you seem really entertained by this, don't you? And then he presses her up against the wall.
He does, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm interested," basically, because
I didn't write what he said because he's just like, who's interested now? Isla. And
I think it
then,
was something like pulling focus back to the fact that she also wants to fuck him, and then like as she's about to kiss him, he's like, "JK, peace," and then he fades out.
yeah, he portals them away. Star
But
wipe.
luckily, they figured out where the sword is, so that's great.
And poor Isla wakes up next to Oro having this very steamy like memory dream, and she feels so guilty about
I would
it.
be so afraid that I said his name in my dream. I would be like, "Oh shit."
And so Isla's like, I have to take matters into my own hands. And it's just her trying to get this invisible necklace off, and it's not gonna work. It's an enchanted necklace, Isla.
She's making some gains on the Sky Isle because the Skylings are going to hold a vote. Oh, no, not Sky Isle. I'm getting them mixed up with Starlings again. The Skylings, Azul's realm, are going to hold a vote on whether they're going to stay or going to go. Isla is like, listen, hey, I got a great idea. I'll have a democracy on Star Isle if you guys stay.
Yeah.
I'll centralize power in the hands of the
And
people.
they're like,
Just stay.
we'll give you 100 people for allowing Starlings to become a democracy. And it's
Yeah.
not looking great. 100 people's not much, and there's still only 13 days left. So not ideal.
And the Vinderland people are not getting any better. The elixir is not really working. Cal is a horrible healer.
Yeah, why did you put a Calder on that? He sucks. We know he sucks.
No idea.
But let's tap in back with like the memories because we get another flashback, and it's Isla. She has not seen Grim in the month since she stripped for that guy with the snake. And she goes to try to see him because she's gonna figure out like why the fuck is this guy avoiding me? But then she's waiting in his room, and then a woman walks into his room, sees Isla there, and just walks right out, which is also very funny.
Yeah, pretty bad stuff. So she portals back to her place, right? Correct? She
No,
goes back to Wildling?
no, she's gonna go try to find the sword herself, and then goes to the
Oh,
night
yeah.
market. And of course, I do not know why Isla would go back to the night market. She has had nothing but bad luck there. And she basically gets cornered by a group of people who are all basically gonna kill her.
Beating the shit
And
out of her.
she tries to make a portal, and they're all really enthralled with like, what did she just do? And a man falls through the portal into Grimm's room, and Grimm immediately comes and is like, what the fuck is going on? And he makes them all levitate like by their heads, and he's like, all right, Isla, which one bothered you? And she doesn't say anything. And he's like, all right, all of them bothered you. And he snaps all of their necks.
Insane. So, how they were torturing her was essentially with glass. I don't know if they were just putting glass in her skin, glass is just in her skin,
Yeah, it was
but
like, it was shadow attacks.
shadow attacks with glass. So Graham takes her back to his place, puts her in his lap, just pats his thigh. He's like, "Come to Papa," and he's got to get all this glass out of her. And he like tucks her head underneath his chin to like hold her in place. And she's wiggling around too much on his lap. And I'm fairly positive, I'm like 100% positive, he gets hard, and he tosses her off.
Yeah, oops. Isla, back in present day, is in the mines. They're trying to get ore. I don't remember for what, if it was like weapons
They
or.
want to make weapons to defeat the Drex, so she
I'm
pulls
sorry,
ore from the
we
mountains.
are like 12 days left and now you're making weapons? This is bad planning. But she finally enlists Soren, who is a better healer, to go help the Vinterland. So I guess that's a win. But Isla's also like, I'm really running out of time to get all of this done. Why isn't Oro helping? She doesn't say that. I'm saying that. I feel like Isla's doing everything.
I agree. She's unionizing everyone.
Yeah.
Flashback time. You'll never guess what creature guards this enchanted sword that Grim and Isla have to get: a dragon.
A dragon. So they immediately are like, what if we just tiptoe our way in
I
there?
love this scene.
I love this scene so much. Isla, sword, arrow through her shin almost immediately. And it gets bad to worse because Graham kind of can tell what's going to happen. He comes and like shrouds his giant figure over Isla and gets just belted by 12 arrows. This cave is clearly booby trapped, but they imagine to like slowly walk out after this like absolute assault and just like silently go back to Grimm's room, and they just start like bandaging each other up and taking these arrows out.
Yeah,
uh
they had to walk far away because if he portals, the sword will just disappear. So they had to
yeah,
walk with these 12 arrows in his back. So they're fixing each other with the elixirs, and he's like, I mean, look how far we've come from you stabbing me to saving me.
pretty
And she's like,
cool.
why did you jump in front of me to protect me from the arrows? And they don't have a better plan for this. They understand that there's going to be more tripwires the closer they get to the sword. Their only plan is that Grim is going to use his body as a human shield.
Yeah. Well, and Grim does drop a very helpful thing that kind of gets us into how he thinks. He's like, being in pain does give you a lot of power.
Mhm.
So he's like, he's very much used to that very masochistic mindset. But they agree they're gonna keep going back to this cave and try to unlock more booby traps so they can get to that freaking sword.
Isla, coming to in modern day, realizes pain is power. I'm going to do whatever I can do to hurt myself.
I feel like she's taken this to like the extreme, like that. What, that's not what he meant, Isla.
So she is working overtime. She is marking off that overtime on her timesheets. She is making all these thorny places for people to
she,
fall into.
she
Oro's
makes
like, you're killing yourself.
she
Stop
makes
working as hard.
9 days worth of like plants that are like poison plants to like obviously fend off the Nightshade army. And she turns to Zed bleeding profusely and is like, isn't this cool? And he's like, what the fuck, you crazy bitch? What did you do? Because like, could you imagine someone just coming to you covered in blood being like, hey, isn't this awesome? Look what I did for the war.
She kind of loves it though. She's having a great time.
And Orio's like, no, 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 this is very dangerous. And she's like, what? I just did the things that needed to be done.
And she is going from good girl to bad girl because Remlar just enables this too. He's like, if you tell the creatures of the island that you are Nightshade, this thing that is proposedly bad, they will join you. A
Yeah,
lot of these creatures are a part of Nightshade or have been a part of Nightshade.
yeah.
Keep them rounded up.
We get another flashback. It has now been 5 visits that they've done to this cave. They've gotten new wounds. They've gotten more traps. All of these visits have ended in absolute destruction. But after this said visit that they've done, Grim's gonna draw like a healing bath and is like, you can just stay and we'll take a bath. It can be normal. It doesn't have to be weird.
I will say
But
though that this bath is massive. It is the size of a room. So just
yeah,
look at your room, look around you right now. You could do that naked with someone.
yeah, exactly. But Isla does feel like she's like understanding Grimm a little bit more and kind of seeing through the dark exterior that he has.
She's getting memories from another source in modern day. Lynx, her leopard, shows her memories of her mom
Aw.
and memories of her and her dad.
Aw.
Mom is dressing dad for battle. And then, I mean, quickly, we just go right back into another flashback.
Yeah, she mistakes like Lynx's black fur for like Grimm in his black armor, so she's of course triggered into another flashback. And Grimm
It's
like
all about
literally
being
just
triggered.
portals into her room to be like, I can't hang tonight, I've got a ball. And she and he just leaves. He's like, sorry, can't. Oh,
That's like, listen, you're telling the woman who lives and is caged inside that a party is going on. I would portal too. I'd get on the
yeah.
hot little number and I would go and make
So of course
friends.
she crashes the party, and Grimm sitting from his throne is so mad that she is there.
And he can't acknowledge that he knows her, and she can tell he's mad, so she blows him a kiss. I loved it.
And
Loved it.
then Isla's like, well, I've only really kissed Grimm, so I'm gonna go dance with someone and kiss a guy. So she does just that. But then Grimm finally like approaches them in the hallway, stabs this guy, and he's like, Isla, he drugged you. Because she'd kind of been feeling like she was getting more like calm and stoic. And basically this guy like put a date rape drug inside the wine she was having. So Grimm's pissed off.
Yeah, Grim saves her from assault and then follows it up by saying, if you wanted someone to bed you, you could have just asked me.
And then he's like, I'll make you a deal, Isla. I will not touch you until you absolutely beg me to.
Yes. Also, right before that, she is like in your dreams, and he said, "You don't want to know what we do in my dreams."
It's like, okay, yeesh. But now, back in present day, we've got 5 days left till the war on Lightlark.
The
And
war on Lightlark.
when
Yeah.
Anya's gonna drop a bomb, she's gonna say, you know what, Isla? I think you and Oro are bad for each other.
Yeah, she says love makes Oreo weak. At this point, my autocorrect
He's cookie. He's
corrected
cookie
Oro to
vibes.
Oreo. And the island is dying because of it, which I agree. I would be like, listen, I like you as a friend. I think you're horrible for my friend.
Yeah,
This
it's like
focus is
because like here's
crazy.
the thing, it's like Oro hasn't like like Oro's not doing shit this whole book. He's just kind of being like, I'm in love, I'm half helping.
And you'll never
Um,
believe what happens to Isla here. She gets kidnapped again. Her
Poor
favorite
girl,
hobby. Poor
typecast in life events. Uh,
It's this Red Mask Rebellion, folks, the one from the beginning, and one of them is led by Marin, who is like, wait. I get you are imposing democracy on Star Isle. That is great. I need you to know how hard it is to be tied to a leader. And she also explains that a Nightshade leader set a curse that tied all these people to their rulers and it keeps them weak, but people have broken them in the past. So, what Marin is saying is that she thinks Isla has a flare that frees her from curses. So, her realms aren't actually tied to her life, but she could free everyone from this curse by killing the king.
I mean, is that such a bad thing? The island's already dying. If you kill Oro, curses are gonna be broken.
Yeah, because he essentially like holds the power for all of the realms because he like oversees all of them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not exciting. I felt like I
I
was
think
kind of
that it's
confused by
because
it.
he is tied to the Nexus curse, which is
Yeah,
the one that was
they
set.
killing him will directly break the Nexus curse, which I forget what the Nexus curse was, but it was a big deal. Um,
Hmm.
let's get into another flashback in,
Yeah, let's do
won't
it.
we? Grim plops himself into Isla's room, and he's just bleeding out like he's near death, and she's has no choice but to be like, I guess I'm gonna help you. And so she puts like healing elixir like all over him, takes him to his room, and just kind of like sits and like watches him. So we get kind of that reversal from when he kind of watched her and made sure she didn't bleed out by her doing the same to him. And when he wakes up, he's gonna kiss her on the forehead.
He's gonna kiss her on the forehead. He's gonna, give her some info on this sword too. That is like Nightshade can't use it. My father was looking for it to gain power, but that's not me. I'm not about power. Also, before he kisses her forehead, he explains that he thinks love is a weakness. So she's like really confused where she stands with him.
Yeah.
Does he like her? Does he
Yeah.
not?
But we basically learned that the reason the sword is so important is there's a scar that basically opens up inside of Nightshade at random, and these winged monsters named Drex will come out of it and wreak havoc on all of the people inside of Nightshade. And he just wants this sword to stop this scar, because the one thing we'll learn about Grimm is above everything, he really does care about the people of Nightshade and wants to keep them safe. So that's why he's like, I need this sword to stop this forever monster cloud that essentially just keeps coming at us.
Yeah. In the modern day, not much is happening. Isla is mostly just making a lot of headway with creatures of the night and her nightshade powers. And then, speaking of Nightshade, just right back into a flashback.
Right
Now
back.
it's mostly flashback, I feel like.
Yeah.
Grimm has shown her a field of Nightbane. He's like, listen, this is essentially an opioid field. A lot of people utilize this drug to, it's like an opioid.
Yeah.
But he's like, obviously, I think that there's a healing power related to this, so you can make an elixir
Well,
from
yeah,
it.
they realize this is the exact same plant species that is used for the wildling elixir. So they make a trade that they will get, like, he will give supply as many of these flowers to get elixir, and then he will give them hearts from Nightshade in exchange because the wildling people need it, which I'm like, that's a great deal. Like, Nightshade always in war, they need hearts. That's a really awesome trade.
Oh my god, I know. You have everything to gain from this. So they portal back to her room and he finally breaks. Not only does he give her hearts and Nightbane, he asks her if she wants this. He's like, "Please, I have to know. Do you also want this? Am I going crazy?"
And guys, they're about to kiss. They're so close, but then he's like, "Oh, he's a Raven Baxter. That's a Raven Vision moment." He goes, "Oh, the scar with the Drex is reopened." Boom, he leaves immediately.
And this is a great juxtaposition because in modern day we come back, he has portaled all of the wildlings and the elixirs back to his place, and we're like, "Damn, they were just falling in love and now he does this fuck shit in modern day? Fuck him."
Yeah, but he does leave a note being like, "Don't worry, everyone's in Nightshade. They're waiting for you, Isla." So like, it doesn't sound like he took them forcefully or anything. He's like, "Everyone's here waiting for you, girl." Another flashback. Isla is waiting for Grimm and they're almost kissed that they never had. And she's getting really worried. She's like, I feel like he would have been back by now.
Yeah, they finally hook up in this flashback too.
Yeah, so when he finally does come back, he takes off his armor and he's like, "I'm fine. It's cool. We're good." And then they kiss and he rips her dress off and then they finally hook up.
Finally, in modern day, she has had enough of it. She touches her necklace. He's so excited to appear. He's so
He's like,
excited. He's
"Oh
like,
my god, thank God you're back. We're so back. This is a relief."
she's pissed though. She's like, you took all my people. You took like all of the elixir. What the fuck?
And
And you gave Poppy and Tara, the caretakers who locked me up, refuge? What are you doing?
and he's like, "I am just trying to save everyone. It sounds like you have not pieced together what I am trying to do."
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I think you need to keep remembering. You need to speed
my
run the
my problem
memories.
with Isla in this book is she can't fathom being wrong with like what she's thinking. She's like, "Well, Grimm's clearly the bad guy," and it's like, I mean, is he? Like, is he though? And she's like, "He's gotta be the bad guy," and it's like, I don't think he's the bad guy, Isla.
Yeah, it's like trust yourself. At one point in your past, you cared about him a lot, so clearly you probably have good judgment. But oh no, no, no,
No,
she can't fathom this, and he is really confused. He's like, just keep remembering. I'm gonna go
he's
back
like,
to
you
Nightshade.
do more memories. It'll all make sense. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get back on track here. And she's like, "No,
No,
no."
actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
She's
go to Remlar.
Remlar.
I'm going to figure out how to shut off someone's power through a love bond. She's gonna essentially just immobilize him.
Yeah, so she and then she immediately goes from Remlar to everybody else, and she's like, "Everyone, plan. I'm gonna take all of Grimm's power, and then we're gonna kill him." And I really wrote down, I was like, "Wow, she really just does not believe Grimm is being honest that like he did not unleash these monsters on Lightlark." She's just like, "No, no, he's the one who did it."
Yeah,
But
so instead of just like, I feel like a seed of doubt has to exist in her mind because she keeps going back to Remlark to be like, induce the flashbacks, show them to
yeah,
me. What's going
he
on?
he gives her a tea. Rapid memory time. We get a flashback. They're finally ready to defeat the dragon. They've done all of their trials. They know all the booby traps. But first, they're gonna go to a Skyling festival, and they go up in a little balloon, and they start hooking up, and then he takes her home.
And she's like dry humping, grinding on him, and he's like chuckling, like, no, not yet. We're not gonna do that just yet.
No, no, no.
It's so goth cat, golden retriever coded,
Yes.
and
And then we go to another flashback. We're doing rapid fire flashbacks.
yes, and this is like legit fucking now. We're finally to like legit fucking in her room. And
Oh no,
she's
we
like,
have to go to the dragon first, Meggie.
I thought that they were legit
No,
fucking.
that's after. So is distracting the dragon while Isla
I got too
goes.
excited with my notes.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, this is what causes them to start fucking. So Grim distracts the dragon. He's like waving like a little like piece of meat in front of the cave to get the dragon out. And Isla goes and is dodging all the little booby traps to get to the sword. But the moment she grabs the sword, the cave catches on fire, and there's no way for her to get out. And Grim portals to her to save her, knowing that it's going to cause the sword to vanish. And he basically is like, I don't care. I don't want the sword anymore if it like is going to cost you, like that's not worth it to me. And he also is like, hey, I'm going to be honest, I know you don't have powers. And then that is when they start fucking.
That is true. I think that I thought that the grinding after the hot air balloon was fucking, but I realized it was just her being feral as hell.
No, they needed some dragon sword foreplay.
It is
Um
game on. They fuck for hours.
Hours endlessly, and then she gives him a pet dragon in another memory, like a little baby pet dragon, which is silly.
Yeah. Ugh, their little love fern. But they do make like even these big declarations. He's like, we should pretend though to be strangers at the Centennial.
Yeah,
And he's like, yeah. She's like, I think that that's a great idea.
yeah,
Present day, I mean, shit. Once I got to this memory, I would also be conflicted about killing him. She says Oro deserves someone less broken than her. But it's like, we all have exes. You just get
yeah.
over it.
And Laura's not catching what she's putting down. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay by your side no matter what. But it's like you
Yeah.
haven't been Oro. What have you done for the war? Isla's a one person recruiting party. But then Isla's like, pain is power, pain is power, and she's
Peace
gonna go
power.
back to the vault, chanting this to herself, desolately hurt herself again, and the vault allows her to enter. And for some fucking reason, Tara's inside.
They begin dueling with their wildling powers. Tara pins her, and before leaving, thanks her for opening the portal, which
What
feels
portal?
like a not a good thing.
Can't be good. We don't, the listeners and readers don't know what that is yet. What do you mean, Tara? So, flashback. Isla feels like a weird pull into the woods, and basically the sword is there. So almost because like she had it in her possession, it's almost like attached to her now.
Hmm.
So she's like, "Cool, the sword's here," and she's gonna go talk to Graham about like, "Hey, found the sword. Isn't that cool?" And he's gonna give her some grim backstory. He's like, so I'm gonna tell you the lowdown. My dad's best general was your dad."
Yeah, and I mean, that's crazy. Nightshade and Wildling, look at this. History repeats it.
Yeah,
He also explains that Lightlark is a miniature version of a world they made years ago, and this portal Isla opened would destroy the island actually if it was used.
yeah,
And he needed her to get the sword because only her flare would break the curse on it, but it could also maybe kill her. And he tells her this and says that's why I was like, let's give it up. Let's
yeah.
give up the sword.
And Isla, that's the thing. She's mad that like she was being used for this sword initially, and it's like, yeah, you guys weren't friends in the beginning, but he changed his mind. But she's so mad at the thought that somebody would, somebody she doesn't know wouldn't be nice to her, that she's like, never talk to me again. Um,
Yeah.
Isla, it's okay for people to change.
God, and after this flashback, she has to go tell Oro that she's doomed them all by opening this portal because now she knows that this is how Lightlark is going to end.
And here's another thing that really pisses me off. Now that it's the day of this godforsaken war, Isla's like, I guess I'll finally go talk to this oracle. Like, as if, what if this oracle would have given you helpful stuff 10 days ago?
Yeah.
And the oracle's dying, and like this, like, I picture her in that, like, in the first Now You See Me, the tub of water that Isla Fisher is in during her
Oh,
first trick.
yes.
I
Yeah.
picture just the oracle kind of waiting in that and just like comes and pops out of it.
Yeah.
Um, but basically, the oracle says, you're gonna kill Oro or you're gonna kill Grim. And that decision's gonna change the future for everyone.
And she's like, well, clearly, Grim, I don't have a problem killing him. I left him in the past.
Sunglasses down. Are you? Are you sure?
Are you sure? So before battle, Oro kisses her. Okay, swaying the vote, swaying the audience poll.
It's almost like he knows she has to kill someone.
And he says, if I die, I want you to take all my power. I wish I could have taken you to my favorite spot, which you could have done. Where
Yeah,
were you the
you
whole
had
day? What were you
30
doing?
days.
Yeah, all this goodbye type stuff. And she's like, not for it.
You
She's
know,
not excited.
if Oro really loved her, he would have just given her all of his power and killed himself.
Exactly. So we think that Nightshade is going to come out you know, on top, but Oro's team is winning. They're kind of boxing them in. Isla portals to Sky Isle to get an army of Vinderland and these cursed creatures because in the end, Snake Woman is now Snake Friend.
And amidst this entire war, and Grimm is just portaling thousands of people there in an instant, which is really fucking cool. But Isla runs into Cleo amongst all of this commotion, and Cleo is like, Isla, you need to listen to me. You are on the wrong side. This other world could really it could save everyone. It could revive my dead son. That's why I'm doing this. And then Drex immediately start raining down from the sky. It's not much of a conversation with Cleo.
Oh, decimate everyone, including her boy guard Sveal.
Seal? I
Um, but the Snake Woman comes up, bites them all. Nom, nom, nom,
The sink
doesn't
woman goes,
feel
I'm hungry.
ready to eat. So she's like, this isn't going well. I think I need to just like talk to Grim. So she runs to like a secluded part of the woods. She pulls on her necklace. She calls Grim. Bad time to have a flashback, let me tell you. But after she has said, I never want to see you again, he shows up, basically kisses her, says goodbye, and says that where the Drex are getting out in this flashback, it's new and bigger, and he's gonna risk his life for it.
Yeah. And he says,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, it's kind of romantic. He says, hey, I'm always going to find you in every lifetime, whatever. And he takes her star stick so
Mm-hmm.
she can't follow him to get herself into this mess because he knows it's going to be so bad. And then back on the bridge, somehow it's just Oro v. Grimm on the bridge.
Crazy. They
Crazy.
are fighting against each other. Grim does this insane move where Oro strikes lightning to hit Grim, and Grim portals them and teleports so Oro is in his place and gets hit by his own lightning.
Badass.
I
But
know.
Isla's like, he's distracted. So Isla starts using her own little tether, which honestly, it feels weird that the tether would work if one person is like madly in love with you, but not if it's a mutual thing. Because, like, if Isla's not in love with Grim, it doesn't feel like she should be allowed to take his powers, right?
I agree, but I guess she
I guess those
does.
are the rules.
She's taking his power, and we have another flashback to when she used this love link before. We get the first glimpse of her using it, and it was to portal her to Grimm's location when he was battling Drex.
And she took the
She,
sword with her.
she took the sword that controls the Drex and she stabs it into the ground, and she seems to unleash like all her powers. And in this act, she is dying. Positively, no
She
questions about it.
basically kills like everything and everyone around her all at once. And yeah, like Maggie said, she's dying. We touch back into present day. Oro's winding up, fist at the ready. And Grimm's like, I think you want to take a hard pause there, buddy. If I die, so does Isla. Flashback. Grim wakes,
Yeah.
Isla wakes up next to Grim. And he's like, hey, you died, but you're alive. I bound you to my life so you could live. So they're tethered.
Yeah, they are tethered. The he Oro is like, please tell me you didn't. And Grimm is the only person keeping her alive, which is why he is trying to open this portal, because her soul exists in the other world,
Well,
I
because in the
guess.
other world, basically, like there's a way in the other world for them to get unbonded. So Grimm is basically like, I want to give you that full life that's not tethered to mine. So Grimm's really doing all of this to not only save everyone but save Isla as well. And
Isla is stressed out about this. She just got hit with a wave of information. Oro is trying to comfort her. She is pushing him away. She's like, holy shit, I am so dangerous. You need to get away from
yeah,
me. And
and Grimm's like,
Grim,
yeah, buddy, stay the heck away from
stay from
my
my wife.
wife.
Crazy.
So basically, flashback, because they were already bonded to each other life force wise, they got married in secret and they had a whole little, like, kind of lovely couple of months together before he took her memories and they went to the Centennial.
She's like, pause, 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 pause. This is a lot. This is a lot to take in. And she's seeing all these people die around her. She just got a memory where she decimated an entire village. She goes, Grim, will you stop the attack if I go with you? Oro is like, no. Big caps, all caps, no. And
He's
she's
like,
like,
Isla, wait, the beach. What about the beach?
the beach I never took you to. And she's like, I am sorry, I love you, but I love him too. And then her and Grim portal away. He calls everyone off.
Yep, and that's where the book ends.
They're fucking married.
Fucking married, and she was having an affair unbeknownst to her.
And he just, I guess, had to be fine with it. He just had to be chill.
Yeah, damn. So I think that's gonna bring us to our top five. And you listeners might have caught on that we were kind of mad with Oro's game in this book, or lack thereof. So this is gonna be our top five ways that Oro can step up his game.
Yeah, he really needs to, because I'm Team Oro.
Are you? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know now.
I mean, here's the thing. When I started this book, I was like, there's a chance for me, I think, to really side
I
with
was
Oro
hard
in
Team
this.
Oro with
I was
the
like, I
start
was
of this
pretty like,
one.
I was leaning Team Grim, and then I was like, but Oro could win me over, and then
By
he
the end of
didn't.
this one, I wasn't Team anyone. I'm no
Yeah,
longer with any of them.
yeah,
So anyways, top 5 tips we would give Oro to step up his game. Number 5, hey, Grim was doing it the whole book. Kill someone for her.
yeah. Grim killed like 20 people this book for her. What
She
are you
clearly
doing,
loves
Oro?
that. She's sitting like a
She's
baby on the
obsessed.
sidelines clapping her hands.
She's like, yay. Number 4, maybe help her realm. I feel like he was just like, I don't know, my friend Enya can do it. Like, what are you
Mhm.
doing, Oro? I feel like there's just more you could have done.
I agree. Number 3, no more words. Action. Stop saying you
Action.
care about her.
Stop yapping so much. Powers this, training that. Act, buddy.
Act.
Number 2, why would you bring up taking her to this beach literally before you all could die? You had so much time to take her to that beach that you wanted to take her to.
Mhm.
Pissed
Yeah, the one
off.
that looks like her eyes.
Yeah.
And number 1, if she wants to hook up with you and she's sober and consenting, just do it.
Do it, dude.
Just
What are you
do it. Have
doing?
fun,
Oro.
buddy.
Oh hell yeah, we did it.
We
Good for
did
us.
it.
Love
And
it.
that is Nightbane. We will be with you for Sky Shades soon, and I'm
Yes.
having the time of my life. At the
Yeah, I'm
end, it's a
really excited
crazy
to see where
book.
this goes. And then we'll be doing Crown Tide, the new one. So that's very exciting for all of us. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
and if you want to hang out with Laura and I make little fun clips on Meggie and or yeah,
Woo.
we read it on TikTok. And also, please give us an email if you're homeschooled at Meggie and Laura present at gmail.com. We want to hear what that experience was like for
We
you and
love
whether
an
it
email.
was sort of close to Isla Crowns.
Yeah.
So pop
All right.
off.
Well, we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.